Okay, let's talk about this afternoon. We're going to do a session, firstly, talking about success. So please welcome Claire Perry-Louise.
Hi, everybody. Hey, we're all here. I'm Claire, as you all know, and I am an entrepreneur and membership sites guru. And I have, during the journey I've been on for the last couple of years, I've had the opportunity to hang out with quite a lot of people who are very successful. And in addition to this, I have read a lot of business books and things around the topic, because what interests me is not just coming here and learning about it, because we can all learn about it, but what I see is people coming and learning about things, but then actually not putting it in action and then not implementing it. And I'm thinking, well, actually, because I studied and I was a solicitor, I'm sort of quite studious. I'm thinking, what's differentiating the people who are successful from the people who never really achieve anything? So I've been looking around this topic, and really today is just the things that I'd just like to share with you around this area and see if I can help even just one of you to move on in a way that you might not have done otherwise. So sometimes, you will have heard of these things before that I'm going to say, but it's just to reiterate it, and hopefully it will help some of you to do things and move you on to the next level. So, what is success to start with? Now, when you think about success and what it is, it's going to be really different for everybody in this room, because the level of success, somebody might say, well, I would be successful if I achieved, bought £1 million house. Somebody else might say, well, it's if I managed to buy a Ferrari because I already have £1 million house. Or somebody might just say, well, success to me would be able to see my family at the weekends, not have to work. So everybody in here will have their own definition. So if you look it up, then this is the definition in the Oxford Dictionary. So it's the accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. So that would be the actual definition of it. So it is achievement of something. So they're right with that. But like I say, you need to look inside yourself and see, where do you think, what would be success for me? Because if you don't know what success is or what you're trying to achieve, then you're never really going to get there. So what I want you to do is, I want you to, well, in fact, before we move on to this, here we go. This is my little daughter. I think that's the point I told her, that instead of Goldilocks every night before she goes to bed, I'm going to read her my membership book. And that's what the face was. No, but seriously, this is just to illustrate that when you're looking at things and you're doing things, you need to think, how does this achievement move you towards your goal? So the reason I put my book up there is because some of you might know that I've written a book. Most of you have probably tried to flog it to at some point or other. Who's not got my book in here? See, look, opportunity. I need to tell them what it's today. So the story behind the book is in about November 2013, I had been on Simon's course in June, and then I started to do the coaching. And on one of these coaching sessions, we all went out for a curry in November 2013. And one of the other coaches, Abby, I remember sitting in the curry house. It was the first time I'd been. I didn't really know what I was letting myself in for. I didn't know what all the other coaches were like at that point. I do know now. But I remember talking to her, and she was like, I'm writing this book. I was like, oh, that's really good. And she was talking about the book and going through this book she was writing. Oh, that's really interesting. She's writing a book. And the next time I saw her, she said, oh, I finished my book. And she had her book. And I looked at this book, and I thought, wow, she's got this great book. And I just thought, wow, you've really achieved something, Abby. And then I thought, I want a book. I definitely want a book. I was thinking, I want to feel like that. I want to be just like, well, not just like Abby, because she swears more than me. But, I was like, yes. She does swear quite a bit. I don't really swear. But anyway, I do want to be like Abby. I want the book. So I met with Rick, who some of you, or most of you will have seen at one of Simon's events. And I signed up with him at the end of November and said, right, I'm going to write this book. So I structured it all out, and I said, okay, right, I'm going to do the book. And he said, when do you want it done by? And by this stage, I was really, I'd made my decision. I wanted to write the book, and I wanted to get it done. So I thought, right, I want it done. He said, well, we'll do it for February. I was thinking, it's November now. I thought, February is ages away. But anyway, so he said February. So in the meantime, it was Christmas, I've got 2 young children and all sorts going on. And he said, oh, he sent me an email. He said, if you want it for February, I need it back, the manuscript, by the 4th of January. So I was like, gosh, that's 4th of January. So I ended up writing the book in 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks, and getting it all done. And then I got it done. And I remember we had an event like this, one of the 3-day events, and Rick came and he presented the book to me, and everyone clapped and like, here, Claire, here's your book. And I had this book, and I was like, yeah. And there was just like a real sort of, it was an anticlimax. And thinking back to November, it'd been really sort of, wow, I'm going to do this book, and Abby done it, I feel great. And it made me think, why was I not so excited about the book? And, I think, well, I've achieved it, and maybe that's why I'm not so excited about it. But looking at things since then, I've realised that if I thought, well, I'm going to do the book because then that will push me on to another level to make me, do a membership course seminar, and it will move me on towards another goal, maybe I wouldn't have felt those feelings. And it's important to recognise that we can feel these kind of feelings when we get to something. We might think, right, I need to buy this house, or I need to do this, or do X. When you get there, you can get sort of depressed in a way when you seem to have reached that goal. So you need to be moving yourself onto other goals. And I actually read something as well about when they went to the moon and the astronauts involved with going in there. A lot of them achieved it. They went to the moon and did everything like that. And then in the months afterwards, a lot of them suffered with depression because they'd achieved and worked towards this massive, massive goal about going on the moon. And then once they'd done it, they'd sort of, they'd done it. And they're having the same feeling I was having about having the book. So what they've done in NASA have looked into making sure this doesn't happen again in the future. So when they work on a program now, that when people have done things and accomplished things, then they think, what's the next goal? And they make sure that everybody involved knows what they're going on to with the next role. So it's just something to think about that you've probably experienced it yourself if you've wanted to achieve something, but if not, it's just something to think about. So see where you're going and then see if it helps towards that goal. So what I want you to do is, because me talking, I want to make sure that you're listening for starters, and also I want to make sure that you achieve something from the session. So what I'd like to do is, I'd like you to think about, for a few minutes, in a second, what success means to you. So if then we went round and we asked everybody, we could say, actually, this is what success means to you. Maybe you haven't thought about it in those terms before. So just have a few minutes and please write it down, because I might ask some of you to stand up or not, just to scare you, to make sure you do it. And then we'll come back for it. So if you've got a few minutes to do that, that'd be great. We have some music, Simon. Yes. Thank you.
Somewhere they're speaking, it's already coming in. Oh, and it's rising in the back of your mind. You never could get it unless you were fed it. But now you're here and you don't know why. But under skid knees and skid marks, you pass the places where you used to learn. You howl and listen, you listen and wait for the echoes of angels that won't return. He's everything you want, he's everything you need, he's everything inside of you that you wish you could be. He says all the right things at exactly the right time, but he means nothing to you and you don't know. For someone to put you together, you're waiting for someone to push you away. There's always another wound to discover. There's always something more you wish he'd say. He's everything you want, he's everything you need, he's everything inside of you that you wish you could be. He says all the right things at exactly the right time, but he means nothing to you and you don't know. And you'll just sit tight and watch it unwind. It's only what you're asking for. out of the island, into the highway, past the places where you might have turned. You never did notice that you still hide away the anger of angels that won't return. He's everything you want, he's everything you need, he's everything
Right,
inside
okay.
you.
So, I would go around and ask people, but I don't want to do that because it's very personal to each of you, and I don't want to necessarily, unless somebody particularly wants to share, but we've all got similar kind of things. Maybe it's personal things or financial, maybe you've got health goals you want to get to. So, but that's a great start, because if you know where you want to head to eventually, at least you know where you're going. So that follows on nicely, doesn't it? Where are you going? So I can memorise my slides. So I've heard this before quite a few times actually, but if you're going to get into a car, you're not going to just drive round and round in circles. You're going to drive somewhere with a purpose. So, and the point is, it makes quite a good analogy, because you get in the car and you're going to move. You think, I'm going to go drive to Edinburgh. Now you know where you're going, and then if you have there's a motorway hold up or this kind of thing on the way, and it holds you up or diverts you, you know that you're actually en route to Edinburgh. And if you know what you want when you get to Edinburgh, so if you're going to Edinburgh to see the, I don't know, see whatever they have in Edinburgh, or buy a kilt, for example. We don't use Amazon around here, we actually go to Edinburgh. Jake, you are on my Christmas list because you laughed a lot then, that was good. But anyway, so you're going to get your kilt in Edinburgh. So you're on your way, on the way in the car, and then there's a big roadblock, and then you stopped and all the rest of it. You're thinking, why am I going? Now, if you know why you're going, there's more reason to go around the obstacle or think of a diversion. But if you're just like, well, I could go to Edinburgh, or I could be going to Newquay, or I could be going to Bournemouth, you're all over the place. So apply that to your life, and apply it to things that you're actually doing in real life. So if you want to do something for the business, think about what the goal is that you want to reach in your business, and then think why you want to go there. Because when you know from within why you're going somewhere, it helps you get through these processes and overcome the blocks and obstacles. So, some of this, it seems like it's common sense, but lots of people don't think about these things, and they really do help to push you on and move you towards being successful. So have a think about that. So what is your why? Now, this is more essential to know than you could possibly imagine. And like I'm saying, if you're trying to overcome blocks in the road, or trying to, because we're all entrepreneurs and it's a difficult journey. You'll go along, you'll have dips where you don't know what you're doing, you're going around in circles. I do this all the time. But if you really know what's driving you and why you're trying to get somewhere, it does really help move you on, because you have some kind of purpose. So you need to know the things you're producing are, like the fruit on the tree, the apples and the pears and things, and that's the things you're producing. But before you get there, you've got the roots, and that's what really pushes you, motivates you, changes your mindset. All these kind of things are the things that I've seen, and that's why people are successful and they get going forward to things, because they have a real purpose to it and a passion. So, giving you an example from my life, I'm a solicitor, and if I look back and think, why I'm a solicitor, I can see a pattern. So when I was growing up, I thought, I'm going to be a hairdresser, and then we used to go on holidays at Christmas to a hotel, and it used to look really good fun to be the people who worked in the hotel. So I thought, I want to be in hotel management. So I said to Dad, I want to be in hotel management. He looked at me and just said, right. He said, yes, that'd be really good, Claire, really, really good. But it'd be much better if you had a law degree first, and then you could, just go along that route and maybe be a solicitor, and then you could be a hotel manager. So I thought, okay. So because I'm a good girl, I did what Dad said. Went to university. I'm not that good, but quite good. Went to university and became a solicitor. So then I qualified. I went through the whole route, and I didn't really like being a solicitor that much. I didn't mind. I quite liked talking to the clients, and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't at events after work. I didn't wake up in the morning and open up the Legal Gazette and enjoy reading that. And it was just a means to an end, really. And the point is, it wasn't my why. It was my dad telling me that I should do that. It wasn't really me. And then it wasn't until I came on the course in June 2013 and started learning about internet marketing, I thought, wow, I love this stuff. And then I just changed my life around and just adapted and just do this all the time now. And I went on the Power to Achieve, which I found was a really... Anybody been on the Power to Achieve event? Yeah, a few of you. You should go on that because it really, really changed things for me. And recently I went on Tony Robbins' event and actually enjoyed the Power to Achieve event much more. So, I don't know when the next one is. The next one in November probably. So is it November? Yeah, probably. Is it November, Simon? Yeah, November. There. I should get onto it because it's really, really good. So, but the point is I found my own why. What motivates me? Why do I start working when the children go to bed at 7? And why am I always working at the weekends? And why do I come away to weekends and not see the children for a couple of days? It's because it's part of me and it really pushes me forward. So that's why it's so important. If you can see from those 2 illustrations, why it's important to, it gives you the motivation to carry on and persevere because. I'm no different to all of you. I don't know all the answers and I don't know how to all these businesses. I just try and keep going. It just takes you in lots of different routes. So that's why it's so important to know your why. So because of that, I'd really like you to again take a few minutes to write down what's your why. Think about what you're doing now and why is it you're doing it. So maybe if you're a solicitor, like me, we've got one solicitor in here, haven't we? Wills and trusts, that was me as well, and probate, all the dead people. So it's much more exciting now. And so if you're a solicitor, why are you doing it? Why is it a passion for you? Is it something you're really enjoying? Or maybe it's not. Maybe you need to think about doing something different. So, and what do you believe? What pushes you forward? Do you believe in what you're doing? Because that's going to move you more to a more successful lifestyle and mindset and successful business, because I can see in others that they really passionately believe in the things they're doing. And those who are successful have that within them. And it is really important to know this for yourself. So if you take a few minutes, just write down what's your why and what do you believe. And actually quite a good exercise that someone said to me the other day was, it's really, really good if you've got an iPhone or other kind of phone, record on voice memos and just for 10 minutes just talk to it and say, what is your why? So think about something you're doing now and talk into your phone for 10 minutes and just keep talking about what's your why, and then listen back to it later on. And you can listen, get it transcribed if you want to. And then you'll start to learn a bit more about you, and it could enhance your business, because you say, well, actually, I really believe in customer service, because when I was growing up as a child, I remember that my mum used to go to a certain shop and got great service there, and it made me feel like this, because a lot of stuff is feelings and why, and it's just moving on to different levels. So just have a few minutes to write down those questions, and hopefully you'll be able to find out what's going on. Thank you.
She wanted more from life than he could give. I said somebody's got to take care of him, so I quit school, that's what I did. Or better, thought maybe together you and me fine, and I got no plans, I ain't going nowhere. So take your fast car and keep on driving. Said I remember we were
Right, okay. Does everyone get something down? Think about a few things you might not have thought about before. So hopefully so. It might not be immediately apparent why these things help, but I have looked into this, and it seems to keep coming up in lots of different things I read, and lots of different people who have done really well are saying the same kind of things. So sometimes you might think, well, I don't really get this. It's all about getting a product out and selling it, but maybe this is more about longevity or being able to apply yourself to lots of different fields. So it's just don't dismiss it if you can help that. So the entrepreneur's journey. So that's what we're all on. So we're all on this journey where we're going along, like we're in the desert, just digging and looking for the water, keep going. So we're so I guess I haven't got a board, but I've got this piece of paper. So this is us in the middle. And we're like, right, I'm going to start this new business up. Where are we going to go now? So then we go up here a bit. And we'll do that. You do that. Then you go like this. And then you find something there, and you go there, and you're trying to find this thing that's going to be the perfect thing that that's going to be the one. So you try that, and then you have a few problems, and you go there, and you go there, and all you're trying to do is get to the middle. You just keep going in this circle, and you're in the desert, and you're trying to look for the water, and you're looking around, and you're thinking, is this going to work? I don't know, I'll try this. But during this point, a lot of people just give up. They get to this bit, and I've tried this, and I've tried this, and I've tried this, and that's not working, and all I want to do is I want to get here. So you do a bit more, and these are the people, most of the people drop off around here because, oh, this is too hard. It's not me. I haven't got the skills. I haven't got the mindset. He's got more money. He can do more than I can. But actually, you can all do it. And so much of the success is down to your mindset and what you believe you can do and what, you can achieve these things. It's just that most people just haven't got the perseverance and they give up, around here. So, and then, it's not a straight line. It's not just like A to B. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, it's not A to B. And as soon as you realise that, the better you'll be. And all these points here that are taking you round, they're all learning points. You're learning something from each one, and it's just taking you. So then you get to the middle here, you're like, yes, I've hit gold. You're right in the middle. And then what will happen? Oh, actually, we can tweak it. I'm going to go up here. And this is basically, it's like a big circle. And that's what we're all on today. And we're all the same. We're all, they're all got insecurities, and we all don't know if we're doing the right thing. But as long as you realise it's not just you, because there's a lot of you think, oh, it's just me. But it's not just you. And, you need to be around people who are similar to you, because it's good to have a supportive network around you because of that journey, because it is hard, and you do keep going round and round looking for the water and not knowing if you've got the answers or not. So the environment dictates performance. So the people who are around you, if you surround yourself with people who are successful, who are similar to you with their values and their mindset, it's going to push you on to a different level, because you create a benchmark. So, and then if there's anything that's lower than the benchmark, you notice it. I was thinking about this actually, because I put that picture up of my daughter, and she's 5, and I don't particularly agree with it, but at her school she has 10 spellings a week to learn, and the spellings are tricky spellings. And sometimes I look at them and I go, oh God, and I'm not quite sure myself. And she's 5, so every week she's doing it, and she's really good at them. And basically, she's done it for about 20 weeks, and for the first 18 weeks, she got 10 out of 10. So, which was brilliant. And on the 19th week, she got 9, and she came out of school. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. But inside her, it was brilliant. Don't get me wrong. But because she'd always got 10, I just thought there was a bit of disappointment in me. I think this is ridiculous. She's done 18 weeks at 10, and she's got 1, but it's only because she's set this benchmark. And it's a similar kind of thing with the people who are around you. So if you see people around you and they're pushing their projects forward and changing parts of their website and doing all these things, you're like, I can do that too. If you're around people who aren't moving along in the same direction, or, oh no, I couldn't be bothered this week, I didn't really do anything, that's going to become part of who you are as well. And I've seen this over the last couple of years. So it's difficult. Really as well, because the people I was friends with when I started doing this in June 2013, a few of them, I'm not that I'm not friends with them, but I just don't really hang out with them anymore. And especially from a female perspective, we get a lot more emotional. Men are better at things like that, because you can not see anyone for about 6 years and go, hey, let's go for a drink, and it's fine. But women get a bit more sort of a bit more emotional, like, oh, she's this, her dad gets later, oh, Claire, she thinks she's great now, she goes to London all the time, she's not speaking to me, but it's just not like that. Our values have changed, I'd still be there, and it is difficult. So if that's happening to you, it's kind of like a natural thing, but at the same time, you naturally will lose people, you gain people. So, the last couple of years, I've met some fantastic people, and, there's somebody in this room who I didn't know, and we met up, we're in this environment, we met up for lunch, and within an hour she knew more about me than a lot of people, and we've got a connection. So you're going to find people like that, and they really enhance your life, and they're really there and really support you, and I'm really grateful for that. So if you're feeling this in your lives, I'm telling you, it does happen. And I remember Simon saying at the course, if, about being around the right people, if he says things like, if your husband's no good, you have to ditch him and things like that. I don't listen to everything he says, but it's true. These things do happen. And you do change the people you're around, and it is important. And people who gain successes do have supportive networks around them. So, and I've been lucky to be able to, I say lucky, I've done it myself. I put myself in the environments, I've met up with people, made connections, and I do have a very big supportive network, and I know lots of people now if I need to gain help. So it is worth bearing this in mind. And you're all in this room today. There'll be people who aren't here and part of the group, and they're missing out because you can all network together and take the opportunities to speak to people because you're in a prime environment. So take the opportunities. So essentials for success. These are the boxer shorts you need to wear for success, apparently. Not success if you're trying to pull me, though. No, they're no good. But otherwise, now, this slide has nothing to do with pants. Well, it does, really. But the point is this is just for you to remember. Because if I wrote it down on there, you're never going to remember. But now you're going to remember these pants. Because the pants are to represent support. And that's what you need. Now, you're going to get no support, men, I don't think, if you're wearing these. Especially this pair, the white pair, they look really dodgy. This is graphy stock for you. I didn't take these pictures myself. We're going with the theme here, aren't we? But like I'm saying, you need the support, and the influence and the impact of the people around you is really going to matter. And also, the other thing that these signify is everybody around here, hopefully, wears underwear, okay? And you're all, hopefully everybody, we don't want to do a straw poll in case somebody isn't wearing any. But the point is, we're all the same. You look at people, you look at Simon, you think, oh, Simon's so brilliant because he's done this and the other. But he still wears underwear, I hope. Do you just
He's just uncovered the secret of my success.
Well, there you go. Don't wear underwear. Simon's commando at the back. Who's going to check it out? Someone closest? David?
So honestly, it's David Beckham's fault, since I heard about his,
Yeah, right, okay. So if you want to be successful, don't wear boxers. That's what we're saying, because Simon doesn't. Everybody else, you just get the idea, we're all the same. You look at people and you just hold them in esteem and think, wow, they're so different to me. I could never do that. And you're creating negative things in your head. Get them out there. Don't say negative things, keep the positivity going because it really does help. Some of you think, oh, this is a bit woo-woo, but it's true. And I'm not, I've seen it a lot of times, and I think, I go to these events, I think, wow, I met that great person. I go to another event. Every single time, I'm like, I met somebody else brilliant and we've had this connection and this type of thing. But it's because that's what I'm putting out there and it does work. So remember the undies. Don't think about Simon and the undies. Just think about those undies and, just think about it. Get support. And everybody else is just the same. They're all just as worried about you. If they don't show you, they'll cry. Some more than others, but just remember that. So you need, as I was saying earlier, you need to have a focus. So if you're going to Edinburgh, you've got your focus. So look at your business, or look at what it is you want, and know what your focus is. Because if without the focus, you're going to topple off because you don't really know what it is you're trying to move yourself towards. So if you got in the car, you didn't know you were going to Edinburgh, you might end up in Newquay, and then you end up going bodyboarding, or you might, do something else. Whereas if you know you're on the track to Edinburgh, you know where you're going, and you can make contingency plans to go that far. So think about that. And setting a goal. So you need to set your goal, and you need to write it down and regularly review it. So there's been studies that I've spoken about before, like the Harvard Business School wrote down, people who wrote down about their goals, and they achieved things, and they went back to them some years later, and the people who'd written down their goals, which was only about 3%, had achieved far more and were 10 times more successful than the people who hadn't even got the goals. And you can see why. So when I'm talking about, say, my book, because I had a deadline, I had 5 weeks that I set myself, well, I didn't set myself, but it ended up being 5 weeks to do it, and I did it because that was the deadline. So without that deadline, it'd be like, oh, I need to finish it. And I know this myself. So next month, or June, I don't know what month we are now, a couple of months, I'm doing the membership course like Simon spoke about earlier. But I've thought about this for ages, and it hasn't been put in the diary. And I think I spoke to Simon about it maybe in February. I said, oh, I want to do this course. But because I didn't put it in the diary, it's never going to come to anything. I haven't got the course ready now, but because it's there, I've got this deadline looming. And I know before June the 10th, I will have it all sorted. So you can't, you really must do this and really, really revisit your goals and set like a long-term goal to start with, maybe 5 years or that kind of thing, and then go backwards, because then you can come to where you are today and then work forwards from that. So like I'm saying, so if you have a 5-year goals and then your 2-year goals, 1-year goal, 6 months, 3 months. So if you work for 3 months and then work back from 3 months, and then if you say, right, this week I need to achieve so-and-so to get to my 1 month goal, you're going to have so much more chance of achieving it. So if you say, right, by the end of next year, I want to be turning over £5,000 a month in my business, it's not just going to materialise. You need to work back from it. So think, I've got so many months. Okay, so this month I need to be doing £500, and then next month it needs to be 1,000, and just work it that way, because it's much easier. If you chunk things down into small bits, you've got much more chance of succeeding. So, set your goal and work backwards, and like I say, write it down. As I said, you'd need to set a time frame and find out, think about your deadline, because I can tell you that people I've spoken to, and I remember having a conversation with Simon about it, he was like, well, you need to set the deadline, because that's the only way you're going to do it. Some people might do it eventually, but it's going to take longer. But with a deadline, you know what you're up against. So set your goals out and set your time frame out. So you might want to start off by writing, say, maybe a list of 10 goals. Now, you could do these you could do it for your personal life or, health. If you think, right, I want to lose some weight. In your business life, set down about 10 goals each. And then, once you've done that, you can prioritise and see which are the 3 most important. And once you know that, you can plan how you're going to reach those things, reach those goals. And then, once you've decided that, you can protect your time and decide what you're going to do. So this is so important. It's so important to success. I can't really say it enough, really. And I have observed it so much. And, it's so easy just to get on with it. And I know myself, I've tried to do things and probably not had the skills in them, spent a lot of time doing them. Whereas if actually I'd thought, right, how am I going to achieve this? Set it out. If I can't do something, outsource it, get it done. I know I would have achieved a lot more than I have achieved. So, I have to tell myself these things as well. And when I'm talking about protecting your time blocking is really, really good. So I have a diary, which, I don't do it all the time, but I try and do it most weeks. And if you set out in your diary between 10 and 11, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. So a few months ago, I set up in my diary, and it automatically comes on at 10 o'clock on Tuesdays. This is the day that I review my goals for the week. So it pings up in my calendar every Tuesday, and I know that at that point, and it only takes me 10 minutes, but I have addressed it, so I can see what did I do last week that was wrong, or what do I need to do this week. And it really, really helps. And it's only 10 minutes out the diary. If you don't block it in, something else will come. So if you need to block it in. So 10 o'clock on Tuesdays is when I'm planning out what my goals are for the week and seeing what I can achieve. And then at the end of the week, you can tick them off. And then another thing is I have certain things I have to do during the week, and I can block off at the beginning of the week which hours I'm going to spend doing which tasks. Because otherwise, you get online, and then you're distracted by Facebook, and then you're on inbox, and then you get another email in saying do this, that, and the other. And if you've blocked it out, say between 9 and 10 I'm doing X and this, you will achieve a lot more, and you can see by the end of the week, and you'll feel better about it. Because at the end of the week you'll say, actually, I have achieved this, that, and the other, and you can move yourself forward. So I'd encourage you to time block. There's a technique called the Pomodoro technique. Has anyone heard of that? No, it's sort of like setting, so it's saying that you do a block of time, say 25 minutes or so, and then you have 5 minutes rest, and then you do it again and again. So you just turn off everything else and focus for like 25 minutes, have a couple of minutes off, or have a coffee, or get up and then do another block. Or the other thing is, blocking out 4 hours. If you did 4 hours of proper work each day, you'd actually be being more productive than a lot more people. There's some techniques. Have you heard about that? There's Pomodoro technique, and then there's talking about 4-hour blocks as well. I've got a slide actually about how to help you time the Pomodoro technique. So it's just saying that's how you increase your productivity. So I found this quote. I don't know who that is. Does anyone know who David Allen is? Is he someone famous? Getting things done. Is he famous? Quite often I do this actually. If I see a quote or something like that, because there's a lot of quotes going around, and they do help you. So you can do anything but not everything, which is true. You need to, when you're implementing, you need to focus on something that, which is in your priority list. Because if you start doing lots of things, you'll probably not quite accomplish all of them. So I quite like that quote. So pick what you're going to do and do it. And then move on to the next thing. Now, accountability, this is a really, really big area. So accountability is something that I didn't always understand or know about, which now standing here, I think that everybody must know about accountability, but I was one of the people who didn't know about accountability. So when I came on the course, I was on Jeff's table, who's at the back of the room now. He was my coach. And after we finished on the course, I started implementing quite a lot of things, and I kept in contact with Jeff, and he kept bringing up this thing. He said, oh, you'd be a great accountability buddy. And at first I was like, yeah, what's that? I don't know. Anyway, he said it about 3 or 4 times to me, like, you're going to be a great accountability buddy, Claire, because you're getting stuff done, you know, it'd be really good. I really didn't know what he meant. Anyway, eventually I found out what he meant, and it means that you say to somebody else what you're going to do, and 1, you've got it out there, because it's not just in your head, but 2, because somebody is accountable, you feel you have to achieve it. So since then, Jeff and I were accountability buddies, and since then I've had probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 people say, Claire, will you be my accountability buddy? And you can't have too many though, because you've got to keep them accountable. But this is something that I've really taken on board. So in, I don't know when it was, a few courses ago, maybe January, there was a guy on the course and he was into public speaking. And so I did my bit on the stage, and you know, I've only been doing it a year or so. And he said, oh, Claire, I'll give you some tips when you come off stage. So we came off stage and he said, right, Claire, this was good and this was good, and you need to change that and do the other. And he said, have you ever heard about Toastmasters? And I said, no, I've never heard about that. He said, right, well, you really need to go to that. Is anyone here a member of that? I think we were speaking about it earlier. Is Ian? He's still here. There he is. Only Ian. Nobody else. Anybody else heard of Toastmasters? Yeah. So it's to practice your public speaking skills, and you meet up in a group, and there's a process you go through with it. But he says you really need to do it. I think it's a worldwide thing. Is that right, Ian? Worldwide, I guess. Yeah. Based in America. Yeah. So it's a big organisation. So he said, Claire, what you need to do is you need to find your local group, and then you need to go onto it. So I was thinking, oh, I'm not sure about this. He goes, no, Claire, you need to. He says, what's your email? I'm going to find out if you've gone or not. So this is Saturday. So I thought, okay, well, there's probably not a meeting, is there? So anyway, so I Googled it, and then the meeting was on Wednesday. In fact, this was December. So I found this group. Now, this guy I'd never met before. I'll probably never meet him again. But he said to me, Claire, you need to go on it because it's going to really be good for you. So I Googled this Toastmasters, and I found out about it. I found it was in some pub in deepest, darkest Devon on a Wednesday night, and 40 minutes from my house. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, I just thought, if I don't go, this guy, who I'm probably never going to meet again, but he said to me, Claire, you need to go, you've got to go. So I got in the car, and I went to this thing, and I went to a pub, and, some of you think this is okay, but I just went in on my own. I just thought, oh, dear, I wish I wasn't doing this. Anyway, as it turned out, it was amazing, and I had a brilliant time, and I actually gate crashed their Christmas party, and won some competition we had to do about some talking competition, and then we did Bollywood dancing and all kinds of random stuff. And then I got a picture with them to show that I'd done it, but I'd actually achieved it and I'd been. And then they said, you must come back. But I did a webinar the week after in January, and the week after I was away on a course, so I haven't been able to go back. But the point is because this guy said, you do it, I did it. Now, if he'd not said that to me, I wouldn't have done it. So that's why accountability is really important, because once you've got it out there, it does make you move forward. And this is a really big area, and I think we've got the opportunity here to make ourselves all accountable. So is everybody on the Facebook group here? We've got a special Facebook. Is anybody not on the Facebook group? Because if you're not on it, anybody? So no, it'd be really good if you would. At the end, if you come and give me your details, I'll add you to the group, because that'd be a good place for us to encourage each other. Because we've got these opportunities that are around, and we're providing a group for us all. And you could put on there, anybody who wants to put on there, say, right, this week I'm going to do X. You don't have to be specific, but you say I've got these goals, and then you could, you'd say, right, I put it out into the community now. I've got to do it, and it will help you move forward. I can guarantee you that. So the accountable people receive results others just continue to dream about. And I've seen this, and it's true. So I think it's really, really important. So what I want you to do is, I want each of you to think of something. And you must do this. Has everybody got paper? I can see no paper. Everybody got some paper? Not at the front we have. Would you like some paper? Who hasn't got any paper? Yeah, I can see you without the paper. I chose to ignore it earlier when you weren't writing, but now I'm drawing attention to the man at the front, and I've seen your eyes closed as well. It's all been noted. Right, so what I want you to do is, there's no getting away here, I'm a teacher, okay? Right, so what I want you all to do is I want you to write down something that you need to achieve this week, or the next 2 weeks. I'll give you 2 weeks. And then, I'm not going to tell you after the then, I just want you to make sure you do it, everybody. Have you got a pen? No, we need to sort a pen front. Right. Oh no, I'm not going to collect them, no, but you have to write it. So I'm just going to find a pen at the front, and then we're going to go on to the next step, okay? Everybody's got a pen, no one's hiding without one, are they? No? Okay, right, one pen at the front. Right, and Simon's going to put some nice music on. Probably a bit more Boyce Avenue, because we haven't had that before. Oh, something different. Right, okay, right, I'll get you a pen. Has everybody got something? No? Anybody still writing? Everybody's written something? Yeah? Right, okay. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to turn around in your seats or speak to somebody who you don't know. Okay, you've got to get into pairs. Okay? Ready? Go. Not next to each other. Do you know each other? Everyone who... Right, that's okay, right. And once you've done that, I want you to tell the other person what you've said you'll do. Okay? Right, has everyone done that now? You've all told each other? Everyone done that? Yep? We're having a good time. Right. Okay, so would anybody like to share with me? Because if you share, well, not just with me, with all of you, this is like putting it out there. Look, Jake's volunteered. So we've got a glamorous assistant. Oh, he's not available. We've got Simon.
It's charming, that is, isn't it?
Oh, Simon. Yeah, so you can see we get on well. Right, Simon,
Yes.
microphone, please, to Jake.
I'm going.
Thank you.
So I've been thinking that Simon Coulson should have an app for quite a long time,
Right.
but I haven't quite worked out what's going to go in it. So in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to build the Jake Liddell app.
Right.
And it's an aspiration for a time when I'm as famous as Simon Coulson.
Right.
And you'll all obviously want my app anyway, because I'm going to release some amazing content. So yes, exactly. And how red my neck is. So that's what I'm going to do in 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks from. So who can tell me what the date is? Is it 2 weeks from the 20?
From today. So
26th today, is it? Does anyone know the date? 2 weeks today? Anyone got a calendar on them? Anyone got a calendar? That's 10th. Okay, 10th. So we're going to have this in the Facebook group. Jake's going to have built his app. Is that right? By the 10th. Okay, it's 10th of May. Anybody else want to be as brave as Jake? Excellent. We've got another. Thank you.
The glamorous
Simon.
assistant's coming. Hold on.
Very good. Excellent. Right.
For about 2 weeks now, I've been promising my daughter I would review the book that she's written.
Right.
So I'm definitely going to do that this week. We've then got to get an outsourcer to produce a cover for it, so I shall get that organised. 3 weeks ago, I bought Claire's book, which I'm told is very good. I don't know yet because I haven't read it.
Check out the Amazon reviews. There's lots of good Amazon reviews.
On membership sites, and as we're building a membership site, I shall definitely get that one read. I was then told if I put a review on her Facebook or some other comment, Amazon, sorry, yeah, then I can have a 20-minute Skype session with her on membership sites, so I shall definitely do that, and I too will be getting that done. I've put down the 6th of May for me, so
6th of May,
around about
okay.
10 days, something like that.
Okay, brilliant. Right, this is going well, Richard. Right, 6th of May, 10th of May, excellent. Anybody else? Right, we're getting into a roll now. I can't remember your name though.
No stories.
Yeah.
I've got the mic,
Caesar.
so I'm speaking.
So I didn't even notice the glamour assistant's so quick. I couldn't keep up. It was like lightning. Oh, we'll do Caesar next.
Right, well, I can top that. I bought your book about 6 months ago,
It's
and as
excellent,
yet it's
isn't it?
unopened.
You're not opened it. Yes.
Reason being, it's taken pride and place on my success library amongst 200 other books that aren't read yet either.
I'm glad I'm in the
That's
success
another
library.
story.
Earlier on, we're having a discussion about my book, which is By Someone's Bed, which I quite like being by someone's bed. It sounds quite good, but I'm still unread. But we're moving forward. At least you've got this book. It's great.
Word of advice, though, for your next book, put lots of pictures in it. I love a picture.
Picture.
Anyway, that aside,
Picture of what?
pictures of anything, doesn't
Or
matter.
anything. All right. Okay.
I'm very visual, you see.
All
No,
right.
on a serious note, I'm a member of the SAS Golf Society, and for those of you who don't know what that means, it simply stands for shafters and shankers. But that aside, I've been doing this for about 11 years, and I'm the worst golfer out of 30 people that go every year, right? This year we're off to Turkey, and I thought I'd go on tour with my father, who's 83, for 5 days last week, just to get some practice in. Well, he beat me, made me look stupid, so that's no good. So I'm going to go have some golf lessons for the first time in about 30 years between now and the 17th of May.
Excellent.
So I know it's not business related, but
No, but it doesn't matter. It's still something you want to do, and you probably won't put it in the diary. So
Thank you.
excellent.
I'm only for second last. You're absolutely right, because the plan is with these guys, whoever's lost on the day has to stand up at the bloody bar with a stupid hat on, buying the drinks all night, and I don't want to be doing that anymore.
No. So when you're doing this by 2 weeks, the 10th, is it for you?
Right now, by the 17th, I'm giving myself
17th.
3 weeks.
Right, I'm writing this down. This is all going in the group, everybody. What was your first name?
Mike,
Mike. So I'm not good with names. As Jeff will tell you, Jeff's at the back, I was talking about earlier, we're like big buddies, okay? So write this book, membership books, put Jeff in it because we're big accountability buddies. Write it, I'm really proud. I go to Jeff, Jeff, here's my book. And he's like, and I'm sitting in the room, and he comes up to me behind, because he taps me on the shoulder, he goes, Claire. He goes, look. I remember him now, just looking over my shoulder, Claire. I'm like, yes. He goes, what's my name? Jeff. No. What's my surname? Oh, so Jeff's real name is Jeff Alexander, except in my book, which he was starring in, he was Jeff Richardson, which is just, I just made it up. I don't know where it came from, but it's contagious because last week, Simon sent an email out to all the coaches, including Jeff Richardson. So so Simon's on it as well. So Simon and I are as stupid as each other. Sorry, Simon. So, but yes, I'm not good with names. So
okay, well, I'll let you into a secret. It's the most important thing to a person is the sound of their own name. And I'm very good at remembering names. So, Susan, thank you very much for that.
Excellent, thank you. Right, Caesar is going to have a go now.
Thank you. Well, believe it or not, but I don't have a Facebook account.
Really?
Yeah.
Goodness me.
But I actually know about Facebook quite a lot now because since the last 3 weeks I've been studying for a long time. Okay, so after them 3 weeks, I think I know more about Facebook than my wife does because as she's on Facebook for like over 3 years now. Because I'm using her account to do settings, trying to do some advertising and all that. But I haven't set it up myself, okay? So what I'm going to do within the next 2 weeks, not only to have a Facebook account and my profile, which will be related to the business and all that, but I'm also, well, I'll be on any social media available, so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pin it, whatever, right? So that's what I'm going to do with the next 2 weeks.
Okay, brilliant.
That's not everything, okay?
Okay, it's not everything. Oh, wow, we're getting at this.
I got to finish setting up my eBay store because it's getting redesigned. I've got a new design, which I paid for about...
You're going to have time to do this in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay, you said that.
Well, I don't know, but the pressure will make me do it.
Pressure that everybody in this room knows, okay?
Well, yes, I know.
I'll be posting this on Facebook this week.
I'll do it. I won't be sleeping,
sure?
right? I won't be sleeping.
Yeah, don't be my buddy, because I'm
I'll be
tough.
like, 2 hours sleep.
I have to
but
ditch
that's
Jeff
okay.
eventually because he didn't listen.
But I haven't finished yet, okay? And I'll complete my first,
You didn't even hear that.
and I will complete my first module on this course, okay?
Oh, really? That as well? Wow, that's a
Yes.
lot. And I'm in charge of the modules as well, so I'm going to know.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Anybody
Well,
else?
That's okay, I'll do that.
Anybody else left who's not scared of me? No.
I don't know.
Simon's scared. Have I got to get off yet? I've been
No,
here forever.
I'll do it, I promise.
Okay, you promise. You're not really scared. I'm not really that scary. Okay, right. Have we got time for one more? I don't know how much time I've got left.
A minus 10 minutes, I think, right
All
now.
right,
So,
okay. All right, okay. We'll just put one more. Come on.
what were you down
One
here,
more.
Christine? Is it?
One more quick one. Thank you.
This is going to sound a little bit embarrassing. I have been trying to write a book for 2 years.
Okay.
And I got the title. The title is called How to Be on Top. But I did not get around to starting it. But from today, I'm going to get help from Claire. And I'd like to finish it by end of November this year.
Okay.
That's it.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you very much. Right, that was a brilliant exercise. Everybody else haven't got round. We're running out of time. But if you want to swap emails with the person you spoke to, and then tell them what you're going to do and do it, it'll be the same kind of thing. And maybe, push yourself. Maybe you don't want to, but do it. Let's do it. Okay? Right. Let's see what else we've got. Brilliant. So just a few tools you can use. So this one is a tool that is free, and it will show you logs of what you've been doing. So it will show you how much time you've been messing around on the sites you shouldn't be messing around on, and that kind of thing. So I did have a go with it, but it's just something to look at. So it's just a few tools that you might not have heard of. So that's rescuetime.com. Rememberthemilk.com. So, manage your tasks and never forget things. So that's one that's around, which is one I haven't used, but it integrates with Evernote. So I love Evernote, which is a really great tool to keep everything online in notebooks, and that's well worth looking at. But those two integrate, so look at using that one. So that's Evernote. Who uses Evernote in here? Yeah, a few of you. So I'm obsessed with Evernote, and it goes with your phone as well. So when I meet people and they give me their business card, you can just take a picture, and then it actually links straight into LinkedIn if they're on LinkedIn automatically. And for example, I use it for personal things. So my children give me cards all the time, and I just take pictures of them, and then I've got them all in a special folder. So rather than having lots of paperwork around, I have ones for the house and all sorts, and business things and all my business ideas. So it's it's a really, really good tool, and it's free. This one, focusboosterapp.com. So this is what I was talking about, the Pomodoro technique. So it's a way so you can time it and see that you're doing bursts of activity. And it's worth having a read on that site. It tells you about what I was talking about earlier about the Pomodoro technique. And anything like this that can make you focus and not get distracted for a period of time is going to move you on, and you're going to achieve a lot more than you can spend just faffing around. So there's one more. So I want you all to take a big, deep breath. I can feel that. Like that. It's like being at a Tony Robbins thing, isn't it? Wow. Right. Yes, yes. What do I do? Yes, and then they go, whoa, like this. Like that. I don't think it's going to suit me, is it? And then we have some pumping music. No, we'll just take a deep breath, okay? You're all going to take a deep breath. And I want you all to promise me. Was that my Tony Robbins? Is that you throwing me off the stage?
That was your pumping music.
Was that my pumping music? More Boys Avenue. We need something like, what do you know? I don't think I can think of anything offhand. What does Tony Robbins use? All these kind of, life will never be the same again, okay? Just remember those pants. Life will never be the same, okay? Remember my pants, not my pants, just those pants on this presentation. So you can remember it, okay? Who remembers what they stood for, the pants? Support, see, it works. Put pants up there, never mind all the other stuff. So I want you all to promise me that you'll all take one step at a time. You'll stay focused, and remember that entrepreneur in the desert going round and round and round. Just never give up, because we're all the same, and I just know that just keep going. And then I know that if you feel like that and you've got a positive mindset, then you'll achieve great successes. So that's all I have to say. Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you, Claire.